Mrs. Brown named to the commissioners for their consideration tonight.
I don't know about that.
Is there any discussion? Okay. I think we have a motion and a second, and Gene's here with us. And
More power to you.
all in favor? Thank you, Gene.
Thanks, Gene.
Okay. Lord, okay, item J, old business. Tony, do you have anything for old business?
I've done it myself. We do have one item of old business, I guess. That would be the LRC property extension on the closing. If you want to go ahead and hear that now.
Yes, and I'd like to recognize Ned Fowler, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes,
Honorable Commissioners. Able,
please.
thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Honorable Commissioners, able staff, and interested citizens. I'm Ned Fowler, founder and director of Northwestern Regional Housing Authority. And I appreciate the opportunity to be before you this evening. And I pledge to be brief in light of the other business in the public interest that you're conducting tonight. Just over a year ago, I'll remind you that my firm entered into a contract with Wilkes County to purchase the old Wilkesboro Elementary School, more recently known as the LRC building, on mutually acceptable terms. And on November 1 of last year, this body was kind enough to extend the sale date under that contract to January 31st, 2011. We believe the transaction could be accomplished within that time frame, and we have arranged the financial resources and received the supporting appraisal to let that happen. We learned just yesterday that the state and federal agencies that are responsible for the federal environmental approval, which is a prerequisite to us acquiring the property from the county, will not be fully accomplished in giving that approval for federal environmental clearance until late February 2011 at the earliest, even though we'd made all the necessary submissions in November of 2010. The county manager and county attorney have a one-page document to accomplish a requested extension through March of 2011, should it be your pleasure to approve it. And my firm has supplied me with another $1,000 check in additional earnest money for that purpose. Please understand that this important historic renovation and new construction development in downtown historic Wilkesboro is moving forward. The investors are locked in. The contractors, many of whom are located here in Wilkes County, are at the ready for a spring 2011 start. Your consideration and approval of our request to extend property sale date would be greatly appreciated. I do bring you greetings from the board chairman of our two principal firms, Jim Reeves of Ashe County and Eddie Holland of Wilkes County, and happy to answer any questions if we can, and I hope that we won't have to come back before you and do this again. But sometimes the wheels of state and federal government don't roll as fast as we want them to, and that's the case this time, I'm afraid. The project is fully ready to go ahead, though, and $7 million development in downtown Wilkesboro.
Okay, are there any questions yet?
How many times did you say this has been extended?
It's been extended just once.
Just once.
And basically the only issue is just getting some of these approvals through the pipeline.
That's correct. If we actually have the money and could set up and close before the end of this month under the current terms of the contract, if we do so, we will be cited for violating federal environmental law, because what they're requiring is that this environmental review process, because there's a little bit of federal money involved, in our, not much, but a little bit. Because of that, if we acquire the property from the county, or if we put the hazmat team on site, either one, before they finish this federal environmental review process, then we will be in violation of the federal environmental statutes, and we don't want to take that chance, not with you holding the property or with us holding the property.
Tony, is there any technical wording that needs to be included in this motion?
Probably not. There's probably if you're inclined to do so, just a motion to approve the addendum presented to you tonight.
I'd like to entertain a motion to extend the closing date
I'll make a motion.
and accept the $1,000 check.
Right.
Okay, motion is second, all in favor?
Thank you all. I hope we won't have to do this again, and the next time we see you, we'll be underway down there.
Very good.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Okay, is that anything else for old business, John?
The only thing that we had that I was able to talk to Pinnacle Architects, and we can leave on the 25th at 8 o'clock and meet them in Charlotte and go on down to Chester.
That, yeah, is there anyone, I know David Gamble, myself, John Yates, and Chris Hugh, the sheriff, plan to go. Is there anyone else that is interested? If not, well, if you are, I guess
Yeah, just let me know.
we need to make sure we've got a vehicle marking that
January 25th at 8 o'clock, we're going to leave here.
We're going to leave here at 8.
car. Okay.
I'd like to go. I have another commitment that I have to attend, but I thought Pinnacle made a good presentation, and I'd like to see what they're working on, and we'll expect to hear back from feedback from everyone that attends. And
8 o'clock?
Sees the project.
8 o'clock?
Well, okay, thank you, John,
Yeah, put me down.
for bringing that up.
I don't know, Tony, I don't know if this is old business or new business, but we're getting ready, a couple of us are getting ready to go down to Raleigh and do some lobbying for Wilkes County and for the region. We've got the North Carolina Association of County Commissioners adopts a set of legislative goals for the session coming out of the legislature. And it's an important part of the process because the county commissioners have a significant lobby with the legislature. We went through a process in November of narrowing 250 or 240 goals down to about 30, and then the executive committee met in December and consolidated that and then ranked them into the 5 top goals of the association. My understanding, and the chairman and I discussed it very briefly, was that it might be appropriate for the board to approve those goals before sending a voting delegate to that conference. But I don't know that. Never have. Okay.
Since you're a voting delegate.
Yeah, you just kind of giving them
Several of
that
you are
person.
going.
Yeah, and I was very involved in. I think Gary is also going. John, are you going down?
Yes.
I was actually asked to chair the credentials committee for the meeting, and so, I'm just going to briefly read the 5 goals for the, and if everybody's fine with those, then it'll give me something to work with at the meeting, the general meeting. Number 1, which is to ensure adequate mental health funding, which we didn't really think was our top priority, although we do feel that it's relatively important. Oppose shift of state transportation responsibilities to counties. We certainly think that's a big one, and there'll be a lot of lobbying on the part of the counties to continue that funding. Number 3 is to reinstate ADM and lottery funds for school construction, is number 3. Number 4 is to preserve the existing local revenue base. And number 5 is to authorize local revenue options. There was no discussion about asking for anything additional. I think there's going to be the major focus this year is just going to be on trying to hold on to as much as we can during the state budgeting process. So, but we'll be attending that this week and lobbying for the county and getting the county recognized at the state level. And and trying to put our case before the state legislature to make sure that local funding stays at as high a level as possible, given the circumstances. So we're going to be on the job this week. And so if everybody's fine with that, we'll proceed. And we